Hello, and welcome to Strega Live. And today we're going to start with the first card of the major arcana in our tarot sequence. And that card is the Fool. Now I should have gotten an easel to put over here so I wouldn't have to hold this because I'm going to probably shake. But if you see this in your tarot reading, you're probably going to automatically think, well, the Fool, it's got to be a negative reading. But that's not at all the way it really is. If you see any major arcana card in your reading, you know that there's an opportunity for a major life decision, for a change. Something's going to happen. But if you look at the Fool, you see that he is quite literally dancing on the edge of a cliff. But his arms are extended outwards for balance, and he's looking up at the sky for guidance, for support, and his faithful dog, his faithful companion right here, is by his side. And that dog, you will see, will follow him through the whole deck. At one point or another, you might see him reoccur, because he is the companion of the Fool. Now, when you look at this card, and you think you see something that's going to, a negative that's going to happen badly, you shouldn't, because this guy, he is completely ready to take that leap of faith. His arms are out for balance. He's got his head on straight because he is looking up for guidance. So he's already kind of done his homework. He knows what he wants to do. He's already kind of taken the first steps. Now all he has to do is jump off that precipice and start over. This is the card you might see if you're trying to start a new business, a new job, a new relationship, buying a house, attending a wedding, doing a triathlon. If you have a question of whether or not you should go ahead and do it or hold back, if you see this card in your reading, I would do it. Because this is the card that says, okay, you know, you're in good hands. You've done your homework, you know what you're doing, go for it. If you don't take that first step, you're not ever going to have a second step. So now is the time. Now, on the other hand, if you see this, which is the reverse of the upright, it's going to say it's not the time. You may need to back up and get your ducks in a row and try to get a little bit more organized before you take that leap, because it's just not the time. It's going to say it's probably not a good time to buy that house. Maybe you don't have enough savings, or maybe something's going wrong with the finances or the relationship. It's just not the right time. Don't do a triathlon because you might get hurt, something might happen. This is the one where if I saw this in the spread on the reading, I would not get on top in an airplane. I would not take that long drive across country. You know, this is the one that's telling you it's probably not a good idea right now. Wait a while. You know, like I said, do your homework. Get some more people behind you, because apparently you don't have the backing you need to continue. So this being said, the Fool is not a negative card in the arcana. The Fool like this is a positive card. You need to really look at the card, read the card, because a lot of times the connotations, just the first time you see it, the first impression is not the one you need to go with. So this is a very easy card. If it's like this, take that leap. If it's like this, don't. Okay, now let's start with the second part of Strega Live. Like I said, we're going to cover the arcana, we're going to cover the tarot, we're going to also cover the world of paranormal and the cryptid. And when I go out somewhere, I always inevitably get asked, do you believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe in ghosts? How do you know there is a paranormal? Okay, let's go with the first one. See my shirt? It's Bigfoot. Because I know that there is a Bigfoot because I just have. I mean, I've seen him. Here, let me get this for you. So I have done my homework, and I have looked this up myself. So many times when you need to do something, it's always good to kind of get some background. And let me go over this. Okay, names for Sasquatch. Okay, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Wendigo, and I have a question about that one because I don't think the Wendigo is the same as a Sasquatch. A Yowie, Skunk Ape, Ohio Grassman, California Wildman, Abominable Snowman, that would be in the Himalayas, Yeren in China, Almas in Mongolia. So all over the world, this same kind of creature, a creature that looks like an ape with the extended arms and kind of over like the gait, like an ape. Maybe have different color fur, but they all have the same characteristics. All over the world, all these people see him. But apparently he doesn't exist. Well, excuse me, I have seen him. I lived 35 years in a place in Oklahoma. It's called Chicken Creek. And when my father got sick, he was disabled, and it was in 2023. My mom passed away in 2017. So I was over there taking care of him, and every morning I would make him his breakfast, his biscuits and his eggs and his toast and everything. Well, bacon, whatever he wanted, I would make him. And he would sit in his recliner, and it would be right by this big picture window. And I would bring him his tray and I would place it in his lap. And when I did that, I noticed something right outside, just right outside my periphery vision, and I'm going, okay, looked up there, and it was a Bigfoot bounding across my yard. It was not walking, it was not jumping, it was bounding across the yard. Now, it wasn't a big, huge animal or mammal or whatever everybody describes it. This one was probably an adolescent, but I knew what it was. Right off, I knew what it was. By the time I called my dad's attention to it, he's having trouble hearing at that time, he missed it. And I felt sorry for him because he had been wanting to see one forever. I mean, that land, he had been there since he was a kid. He had lived around that area. So he really wanted to see it. He missed it. But I know what it was. But I didn't have a camera, and people aren't going to believe it, but that's okay because I know what I know I saw. Now, I also know that a lot of times, like at night, when you go outside and you think something's watching you, or, following you or whatever, yeah, okay, there's creatures in those woods. They're going to be curious and they're going to watch you. Why not, because that's their domain. And when you think you hear a Sasquatch, which I probably have, but it's hard to discern because so many of those creatures in the woods sound, you wouldn't think that's what they are. The coyote, for instance, sometimes they can yelp so much, the way they yelp out, it sounds like a woman screaming. It really does. And then we have a full-blood bloodhound, and when she screeches out and starts yodeling, if you didn't know what it was and you were standing on your back porch and the wind was blowing, you could very easily misinterpret that as Bigfoot. But I'm just saying, I do believe in Bigfoot. I've seen Bigfoot. I think they're shapeshifters. I really do. I realize that it's hard for people to believe what they can't see. And I was a skeptic for the longest time. I'd listen to stories about them and think, oh yeah, maybe, whatever. I'd never completely say it wasn't true because I believe anything can be because, like I said, I live in the world of the veil, so anything's possible. But I can see how skeptics would be skeptics until they actually saw it themselves. because so many people live in the world that you can explain, and there are just certain things you can explain. Now today I wanted to do this piece of explaining why I believed in Bigfoot out on the trails, walking, taking a hike. But this morning I got up and my back wasn't cooperating, and I have, well, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it from here, but anyway, you might be able to. You can see this hump. You probably can't see my head right here, but I have osteoporosis, I have kyphosis and scoliosis, so my back looks like an Oklahoma road map, and it feels like an Oklahoma road map that's been run over repeatedly at times. So today I did not want to get behind the wheel of a car and drive to the trails, even though I would have loved to have been out in nature. There are just times where it's not going to happen. But when I can, when this goes over, I will get back out there, because you can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl, and that's my safe spot. I love to be out there by the water and in the wind. So until the day I'm gone, I will find ways to be able to be in nature. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, and I'm going to come back tomorrow with the second card of the major arcana, which is the High Priestess, which is the card that symbolizes me whenever I do a reading deck. So that's the second card, and we'll be back tomorrow to do that one. Until then, I want to say, if you like and subscribe, follow my channel, and I hope you've gotten a deck where you can follow me, because it would be so much easier if you have your own deck. But anyway, guys, blessings from the witch.